All right, Shalom. First, I'm going to give all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'al Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'al Shem Rakakwadash, double to the elder apostles and great millstone. And salutation to you, Akim, is laboring, doing this work in all truth and sincerity. All right, Shalom to you. And Shalom to the whole elect of the nation of Israel, man. All the elect families, all of you, you know. Today is Sunday, the 24th, Sunday, January 24th, 2021. And I got an article I want to go into because you know, with all these things going on surrounding the presidency of Babylon, you know, when they was determined they were going to be the king of Babylon and everything, at least of Esau. Once they was determined that and the transition started, well, one thing that stuck in my mind was you know, this past few weeks, or really beginning of the month, really, you know, they've been talking about this thing is called opening act of the new war on domestic terror. All right. 1 second. So yeah, they've been talking about this opening act on this when I say a war on domestic terror, and you have it where you got the Southern Poverty Law Center. You know, they work with the government. You know, it's all part of the government. You know, it's like a little off branch, but they work with the government, and they pretty much highlight the different groups that they believe to be extremists. And we're, you know, though we're doing a righteous thing by serving Yahweh Ba'al Shem Yahweh Shai, and we go out here to do the Most High's will, you know, you have to remember that Esau is against the Most High. All right, he's adversary to the Most High and us, because we're the children of the Most High. And so he basically going to go into demonizing us, you know, and labeling us as extremists as well, because we come out here and we teach the scriptures. All right, we go out here and we teach the scriptures which are against this society. All right, because this society is a wicked society, because he is the wicked. And so what's going to happen is, you know, as we get closer and closer to the end, which we're near the end, you know, we're going to have tribulation, all right, and pretty much we're going to be pointed out, all right, basically among our people. We're going to be the ones that's pointed out real quickly, because, you know, we're the ones that go out and teach our people this truth. So we're the ones that Esau deems a threat, though we're not a physical threat. You know, we're not a physical threat. You know, we're just a spiritual threat, because, you know, Esau knows that everything we teach is true, and everything that we are teaching is going to come to pass. But even the destruction of his very kingdom that he has right now, you know, it's going to come to an end. It's going to come to destruction, which we're living in that time. So, you know, Esau's against that. He's against that, and he don't want his kingdom to end. You know, so matter of fact, I have some precepts I think I want to open up with, but since I mentioned that first, I'll get that real quick. The book of Psalms, chapter 49 and 11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." So, Esau, he wants, his kingdom to continue forever, but he wants it to end. So he'll do, when someone's desperate, whether it's good or bad, they go to extreme measures, right? And Esau being the wicked, he's gonna go to extreme measures to try to seek to destroy us, and he's gonna want to put the men of the Lord to death. All right, well, some of us going to be martyrs, man. You have to get that in your mind. Some of us going to be martyrs. You have to prepare your minds for that, So, I mean, that's just what it is, man. You got to toughen up, like the scriptures say, endure and to the end. Endure means to make hard. All right, so you can't be faint-hearted in this truth, man. You have to stand stiffly, all right, and stand strong for the witness, all right, the testimony, all right, of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's just what it is, all right. Now let's go into the article. This article is actually from blacklistednews.com. I like Blacklisted News. This brother put me up on that a long while ago, so I've been pretty much sticking with it. It's a site that got many great articles to come out with, so I like it. Now, it says, the opening act of the new War on Domestic Terror. And it was actually published on the beginning of this month, January 7th. All right, so January 7th of this month, it was published. It says, The Last American Vagabond. It says, Whitney Webb joins Ryan Christian today to discuss what appears to be the opening act of the new U.S. war, the War on You. As always, take the information discussed in the video below and research it for yourself and come to your own conclusions. Anyone telling you what the truth is or claiming they have the answer is likely leading you astray for one reason or another. Stay vigilant. So, that was all, So you got to remember one thing you have to remember is Esau has always had pronounced and brought war to us, as a people, as far as us Israelites, man. And he had the of course he had the hardcore slavery part when we all was in hardcore slavery. Still in slavery, but not the hardcore part, right? So, during that time though, it was a war to destroy, all right, the union or bond between us and our wives, and he was able to destroy, for the most part, he was able to destroy that bond, or us having our women be submissive to us, and that was a war on Israelite families. Also, during the whole post-hardcore slavery, and even leading up to the Jim Crow laws, you had it where there was a war on Jake, us Israelites, for having basic necessities, the whole war on so-called Black Wall Street, man. It was a war on our economic strength as a people. Starting with Judah on down, especially Judah, he did a number on Judah because Judah showed that they can live independently, outside of Esau's government, his economy. All right, and so Esau didn't like that because Judah started to do really good, man. He was flourishing with riches, and you had many Edomites that was poor and not doing well in their own kingdom. So Esau sought to destroy it, and he actually did destroy so-called Black Walker. So that's one thing. All right, that's one thing. And then you had during the civil rights movement, in the beginning of that, which goes back to the early 1900s, on up, and that's actually still going on, which you see that so-called black leaders didn't do anything for it, pretty much. You still don't have civil rights, it's just something that's going to always be because it's not meant for us to have civil rights. But it was a war on so-called black leaders, man. And, they was, a lot of them, they sold out to Esau. A lot of them had sold out to Esau. And Esau ultimately put them to death. You have some of the ones that still, you have a couple of them still around, and they still do Esau's bidding. Like the Jesse Jacksons and Al Sharpton, they're still around, but they sold out. They're totally sold out to Esau. Esau's they God, Esau's their master. All right, so you have that, which is a war on just you even trying to be treated with some kind of decency. And that's right there. That right there alone, shows you how much Esau cares about you. Just for you to ask for some type of decency, man, he has a big issue with that because he don't want to treat you like a real human because we are human, even though he's not. All right, because he don't have any hue. But his whole thing about dehumanizing us Israelites, any way, shape, form, and fashion. He does it, to the T. He has declared an all-out war on our identity as Hebrew Israelites, man, from the so-called Negro to the so-called Mexican. All right, so that has been going on for a while, man. That's been going on for a time. You know what I mean? And so, even the Mossad waking us up to this knowledge, starting with Abba Bivens, the fact that this truth had been out for many years now, for decades, man. And when Esau began to see it, he was vexed by the Mossad waking us up. But he didn't want Ezekiel the 37th chapter to take place, because it symbolizes his end, or it's a show that his end is near. All right, so when the Mossad began to wake us up as Israelites, starting with Abba Bivens on down, King Rashad and Yaakov, all those great men that lived before us, even the great elders we have today, the elders, Elder Apostles of Harlem, Gabar, and Ariamla, Elder Apostle Kyle, all the elders, many elders we have, great elders, great leaders we have among within Israel, man. Pretty much, what we do, all right, is something that's versed to his society, which we're doing everything we're doing. Everything we do is in righteousness. It's not nothing that we're doing that's carnal. So you have groups out there that do stupid shit. They're gonna use that. Esau's gonna use that as a justification to look at those of us that are strictly about teaching the scriptures. You're gonna look at that and demonize us, because of you got stupid ass Jakes, man, out here, man. I gotta keep it real, man. You got individuals within Israel that deems it necessary to go out here and video them going to different things like gun ranges and shit. When this knowledge of ours is not about being carnal minded, because if you're videoing you going to a gun range and shit like that, what do you think Esau gonna use that for? Now, I'm not saying you can't go to the gun range or obtain a CCW. That's on you. That's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But you have to know what you're doing, because what you do, all right, what you do is not taken lightly. All right. Get a precept real quick on being carnal. This is Romans 8:4. Well, I'm sorry, Romans 8 and start at 5. Well, yeah, I'm starting at 4. It's like Romans 8:4, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. Like I said, this thing of ours is spiritual, man. We're not out here beating no guys up, shit like that, causing any kind of violence, which Esau is going to try to create a narrative that way, So this is the reason why we tell you guys, starting the elder apostles on down to his young brothers, you should be, doing those type of things. Like, if you're going to do that shit, do it in your own time. Don't involve, you trying to labor and then, involved in that shit. They don't go together. Spiritual and carnal things don't go together. If you're going to be spiritual, you're going to be carnal. You can't combine them both. All right, that's confusion. All right. Verse 6, and here's the point. Well, verse 7 is the point, but I'm going to read verse 6 as well. It says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, or is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High." So, first and foremost, those of you that do mind the things of the flesh, you're putting yourself, or you're basically declaring yourself an enemy of the Most High, because, like the scriptures say, it is enmity with the Most High. All right, enmity means that it's that you basically are an enemy or adversary to the Most High. All right, and you don't want to do that. All right, so pretty much that's what you do when you be carnal, man. When you videotaping you shooting fucking guns at the gun range. All right, that's carnal. Those are carnal things, man. We all have our issues with carnal, being carnal. But you grow, man. But that's some extreme stupid shit. That's extremely stupid to do, and take it from myself, man. Being, I use myself as an example. Me that I had to deal with carnal things. I had to go overcome those things. It's some guys out here, man, that shit. Not anybody. I'm talking about Israelites. It's some Israelites that you run into. They get on your fucking nerves. They piss you off, man. Some of them even try to tempt you to get into a physical altercation with them. All right, but you have to have a strong mind and will not will, but strong mind and spirit to avoid it by all means, unless someone just come up and physically try to attack you. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've done myself. There's guys out here talk shit, but they just talking shit. I always say those that ain't trying to put their hands on you. Hey man, the hell with them, man. And there's guys out here, trust me, that deserve, a good old whoop, but it's not for you to do it. All right, just let it be, man. If you can avoid it, man. The scriptures say, "If possible, live peaceably among all men." So, though some Jake out here may be fucking trying to get, or provoking a carnal situation, if you can avoid it, man. If you can't, and I mean by can't, they just straight up try to get physical on you. You know what I mean? what they really do. But it happened. It has happened. You know what I mean? So just try to avoid it. If you can. Now, the reason why I say that because that's an easy way to Esau to say, hey, these guys are out here fighting, and they out here being violent towards the citizens. And that's another way of him to demonize us and come down upon us. Which is going to come down on him anyway. But it's giving a reason to, like I said before, justify what he's doing. All right, using this MSM, mainstream media. And that's what he's going to actually try to do. With this Capitol Hill riot. With this Capitol Hill riot, I looked at it as I looked at it as these Edomites being Edomites. That's nothing new, and of course their government won't allow shit like that, so that's nothing new. But also, I was looking at it as as you watch the videos, and I've been doing this for like the past 2 weeks now. As you watch the videos, you can see that past week and a half almost. So yeah, you can see though that when you watch the videos of the Capitol riot, when they was going inside the Capitol building, which they was allowed to come in there, they was granted access to the Capitol building because ain't no fucking way you get 500 Israelites that's protesting, or in an uproar, and decide to go to the Capitol Hill building and be able to get that close, just for a simple protest. But as you can see, those Edomites, which it was the vast majority of them the vast majority of those people was Edomites. You have one or two. I think I remember seeing like one or two, maybe a handful, literally a handful of Israelites that was out there looking like jackasses. All right, but you see that they allowed them to come in the Capitol building. A place like that. If you ever been in the federal building, like I said before in the one video I did, a federal building, or maybe been a street lesson, but a federal building is heavily secured and guarded, and they're guarded with live ammunition. They're on duty with live ammunition, live rounds to neutralize any threat. So that's one thing, So when I look at the videos, you see the Capitol policemen, right? The Capitol Police, they was letting those Edomites come in there, man. All right. Now, according to them, they say that 4 people died. 4 people got shot and died, according to their news source. All right. So that's I take that very lightly because they say that, but I didn't see I didn't see much. They showed George Floyd life leaving his body. They show you that, but they didn't show you anybody they got shot. And it was damn near everyone in there. Everyone in there had their phones out, recording and taking selfies and all kinds of shit. All right, but anyways, they stormed the Capitol building, and then you see there was nothing done about it. There was no. They was not met with force. They was not met with the type of force that warranted someone storming a fucking federal building. All right, showing you the total hypocrisy of Esau, man. Because if that was you Israelites, man, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, all right, they would have shot you the fuck down, man. Goddamn with a kind of bullet soon you approach that Capitol Hill building lawn. So you approach that green grass, it would have shot you the fuck down, man. Without any doubt in my mind. All right? They would have shot you down. And matter of fact, soon they see you out there in the streets protesting near those buildings, they would have met you out there with force to begin with. All right? So that's them using this. In my eyes, I see that as Esau using that isolated incident. That's Esau using that isolated incident to open up the new, like I said, like the title was in that article, the new war, which is on domestic terror or domestic terrorism. So, that's what it is, man. All right, not just Capitol building, but up here in over here in Michigan. I'm sorry, Lansing, Michigan. It's been going on too up there. It's capital of state of Michigan. So those Edomites up there had live ammunition, walking around with assault rifles, shotguns, and what have you. Handguns, all that. It was supposing that the Capitol rioters had a few of them had pipe bombs. Shit like that. Now they're going to use that to create so-called domestic terrorist laws that's going to deem any a potential extremist, all right, as a threat. And you got to remember, they label us extremists because we teach the scriptures. We teach the scriptures and we break down the scriptures and tell it to our people, all right, and the other nations. We actually come out here, and bring out the truth of the scriptures, all right, and that alone, Esau deems us extremists. So they're going to tie us all in that same group, okay? So don't be shocked if Esau send his troopers in there after you, to basically to throw you into custody, or bring you into custody. I'm sorry, to slander you and call you an extremist or even a terrorist. Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But be aware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils. They will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. And that's something that's going to actually happen, man. All right, some of us going to actually be brought up, before governors and kings, man, which are the elites of, the governors and kings represents the government of Esau. And we're going to have to be brought. Some of us going to be brought before him, for the testimony, all right, of Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's something you have to keep in your mind. All right. This, Romans 15:4, for whatsoever is written, aforetime is written. For whatsoever things were written, aforetime is written for our learning. All right. So, during the time of when Yahweh Shai walked this earth as himself, the men of the Lord then was, treated the same way. All right. Verse 19. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be a time, we start to round us up. Some of us will be rounded up, right? There's no need to panic. It is what it is. Yahweh Shai was persecuted. He was brought before the governors and kings. All right, so they even show you in that movie, Passion of the Christ. All right, and you see how Yahweh Shai, or the movie scene, how they brought Yahweh Shai before the governors and shit like that, and he was delivered up, and that's what it is, man. The scriptures, well, Yahweh Shai said himself, the servant is not greater than his master. So if that happened to him, Yahweh Shai, I mean, and him being our master, Yahweh Shai is our master. Well, we being servants of Yahweh Shai, we have to expect these things to happen to us as well, okay? Because like, Shalaki, I had my nose. Sneeze came out of nowhere. Shalaki, sneeze came out of nowhere. But what was I saying? So I was saying you gotta remember that Yahweh Shai, he was brought before the governors, and he was demonized and everything, man. Even though he had done no wrong, he was simply doing the will of the Most High and teaching. Same thing we're doing as his servants. We're still gonna be treated like Yahweh Shai, to some degree, or even put to death. So I mean, you got to get that in your mind. You have to, like I said earlier, at the beginning of this street lesson video, you have to endure, make hard, man. You have to prepare your mind for that, all right? And they're going to deliver us up, some of us, to these councils, and like the scriptures say, don't take thought or how you should speak. All right, because in that same hour, the Most High is going to tell us what to say. We're going to put on our spirit what to say. All right, so that's what